How fast can you level up in Blox Fruits in 24 hours? Today I'm going to find that out with this challenge. Here are my challenge parameters. I am going to play this game completely free to play, which means no fruits. Why? I want to take this from the lowest and most bare bones perspective where they can't get fruits from begging or from friends, plus finding fruits in the overworld is probably a rarity. The next parameter, I'm only going to be using the sword. I could have just gone melee only, but I decided to take some kindness and say I can have a sword at least. Next parameter, no private servers. Why? Because I'm playing free to play. Next parameter, no EXP boosts, not even from the free codes. Why? Because I want to see the bare results without anything to affect how much EXP I will get on this account. Next rule, completely solo, because not everyone has friends. Not everyone has friends to help them, and in my case, I don't have friends who play Roblox. Next rule, I'm going to be playing for a total of 24 hours, meaning I can split the playtime on multiple days. Now, you may be wondering, well, actually, creator, isn't that more than 24 hours? Yes, technically, but I'm only counting the 24 hours that I spent in the game. The reason why I'm doing this, don't quote me on it, but from what I learned from my science classes, scientists, when they conduct experiments, it has to be replicable. Is that how you say it, the word? You must be able to replicate the same exact experiment. So, hypothetically, if someone were to undertake this challenge, if someone had only 24 hours, right, one whole day to play the game, your 24 hours may look different from my 24 hours. One person may only be able to play for 1 hour, someone may be able to play for like 10 hours, which means there's going to be skewed results, and I want the raw results for this challenge. Without a further ado, let's get started. If you're the person who attacked me, you can go suck a big fat. Hello everyone, it's future Lilia here commentating over my footage. So basically, to start out, we started as the Marines mainly because I played as pirate on my main account and I just wanted to see what the difference with the Marine is. The only difference that I finally realized was that you play solo, you cannot have a crew or anything, that's only for the pirates. And pretty much you have cheaper boats, so that's the only perk. So Marines are definitely the lone wolves. I did eventually realize very late that I could buy the katana on this starter island. Eventually I made it to the jungle. I did not, so I'm kind of dumb. I didn't write down when I did what. I started writing down stuff really late into the game. I would assume maybe like less than an hour I reached the jungle area. Also, this was the area where I started seeing a lot of players and they wanted to kill me. I don't know what it is. I just started the game and everyone wants me to die. So I knew that I could not put up a fight against this guy. My katana does jack shit. This was a relatively peaceful island. I didn't have too much trouble with grinding, except for the fact that my HP gets low really quickly, and I took my Blox Fruits power for granted, for sure. Because when I started with perm ice, and I could do decent damage. At this point, I made it to the desert. I still didn't write down the time it took me. What I do have in my notes, I started realizing, oh, I should have noted down how long it took me, because the timer failed and I don't have a timer. I did try in the beginning. Anyways, I reached the second part of the desert quest in 2 hours in. Eventually, we made it to the frozen village. It took me about 2.5 hours just to reach this island, and I was level 90 by then. And then I soon reached level 100. I thought that was a really big milestone. You guys probably won't see it based on whatever clips I decide to put here. At 3 hours and 3 minutes in, if you want to be specific, or just round it down to 3 hours. That's when I reached level 100. So by this point, I was already so tired of the game. I don't know why. I think it's because of the grind. When I originally did my Blox Fruit video, I did it over a span of weeks. So I kind of failed and I didn't write when I reached this area. So that's a little bit of a problem because I kind of slacked off here and I forgot to note when I reached the naval fortress. This was another boss where I had to install the stall tactic. I think at this point though, I had Kitsune in my original playthroughs, so that definitely made things a little bit easier. And one thing you quickly realize with this is that you die a lot. You die a lot to NPCs, you die a lot to other players, and it's just a circle of life. You kind of just accept it. So at one point I wasted like 10 minutes going after Greybeard. I've never fought this boss on my main account, and I for some reason was confident that I could whittle down his health enough to defeat him. But then what I quickly realized is that he regains his health. I don't know if it's because I took him too far away from his spawn area, but he regained his health and that's when I called it a day. At 4 hours and 42 minutes in, I finally reached the Skylands. I finally have a definitive time. This is where I bought the dual-headed blade. So I got a new weapon, it's a better rarity, and I felt like I was doing a little bit better. I mean, I still died multiple times, sadly. Like I said, it's the circle of life. You just kind of accept your death. But let me just say, getting all those levels is so satisfying. It's like the best thing to see. So eventually at the prison, I reached that area at 6 hours in. And I spent quite a bit of time in the prison just farming the NPCs. It definitely took me a while to kill the bosses, especially this warden. The warden was the worst one. The chief warden was the worst one in my opinion. And I didn't think I was going to be able to fight Swan, but eventually I was in a server where he spawned, so I was like, you know, let's give it a shot. Maybe I'll get a drop. I did not get that drop. So I eventually reached the Coliseum at 7 hours and 20 minutes in, which was an hour and 20 minutes after my prison escapade. The Coliseum, there was one other person there with me, and he just killed me. It's sucky. I did not have a good time, okay? One thing I realized, I didn't know this was a thing. I was so confused because I thought my boat was broken. Maybe my game just was lagging, but the boat wouldn't move. And I didn't know why. So I was like, huh, that's weird. I need to sail out of here to get to the next area. So I was like, oh, let me just try to spawn a new boat. Maybe that'll help. Nope, that does nothing. I was like, what the heck do I do? That's when I finally looked it up online, and there's a Reddit post. Apparently the Coliseum is broken where you're soft locked into that area. And I read a comment where someone's like, I had to basically jump towards the jungle area. So I was already so far in. You guys gotta have to realize I was already like 7 plus hours in at this point at the Coliseum. And if I had to start over this challenge, I was gonna cry. I was gonna give up if I had to start over. I was like, that's the end. I don't want to redo this. I already invested so much time. But yeah, I was trying to invoke the same method that someone used, which was to go to jungle. And I thought I was screwed because I didn't make it. But what I didn't realize, as long as I was close enough to the island, I would spawn on jungle. Thank God. So this run wasn't ruined. This challenge was not ruined. But developers, you gotta fix Coliseum, bro. At one point I thought I should do the Saber quest because hey, I'm level 300. Long story short, TLDR, I did go through with the quest. I didn't beat Saber Expert, so that's when I gave up and I went to the Magma Island. I wasted like so much time on the Saber quest. So I reached the Magma Island at 9 hours in. So there was this random person asking if I wanted a hug, and I was just kind of creeped out. Okay, I wasn't creeped out. I was just like question marks all around. Because he was just like, hug, and I was like, I'm not falling for that. You use a magma fruit. Why would I walk into that? I will die. Like, I will burn. You will melt my flesh off. Anyways, I was like, okay, let me just grab this quest. Maybe he'll stay away from me. Because I rejected him. But clearly he did not take my rejection well, and he slapped me in the face. And then more people wanted to kill me, so that was very fun. You know, like I said, circle of life, everyone wants you to die. Eventually I reached the underwater area at 10 hours and 56 minutes in, and then eventually I made it to Upper Skylands at 12 hours and 50 minutes in. This is also well over that because you can clearly see I'm at this part and not the beginning stages of the Upper Skylands. Eventually, I did also get the saber. I finished the saber quest. It took some time, and I had to dodge a lot of his attacks, but I managed to do it. Now, the cyborg boss fight is one I had quite a bit of trouble with because he hits hard, in my opinion. And I had to run around and stall and make sure I can dodge his attacks on time so I don't get punched into oblivion. I don't know why I struggle with this one a lot, but it definitely was one of those boss fights where I had to stall for long periods of time. If I can speak English, that'll be great. But eventually, I made it to level 700 at 19 hours and 58 minutes in, so that's a time skip from what I mentioned earlier. I got to go into the second sea by the 20-hour mark because I had to drive my boat, sail my boat all the way over to Middletown and find the guy that teleports you. Second sea, I feel like more people were aggressive, more people are likely to attack you, and I just needed the quest, but I saw a lot of Buddha players, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many Buddha users and it's scary out here. There is a time where I was against a Buddha player, I could not outrun him. I don't have a clip of it because I wasn't recording that, I was just grinding, straight grinding before I had to go to work. And I got obliterated because he's bigger than me and his legs are longer than mine and I can't outrun that, y'all. It's a sad world out here. So I also died once more at this part. This person's never gonna find my video, but if by chance you do, f you. Go f yourself. I'm kidding, I don't mean it. I obviously don't mean it. Unfortunately, as I was very close to the end of this challenge, someone decided to be a dick and kill me. And it's a little bit unfortunate because it basically shaved off time for me to complete my final quest run. Because like I said, the quests I believe give you the most EXP. I don't know about any other methods, but from my findings from at the bare minimum of what I have, that is the most ideal way for me to level up or try to level up. And I'm sure if it's an EXP boost, that's a little bit of a different story, but I wanted to keep this as very fair without the need of an EXP boost, just to see how fast you can level up with nothing. I feel like if I didn't waste time at certain portions or if I died less, I definitely could have made it to the level 800 part. What I can't help are the other players that want to kill me, and this is where I hit the 24-hour mark, so I just stop everything because I can't complete this quest now because the timer ended. I'm proud of myself for completing this challenge. And my final thoughts is that you can level up quite a bit within 24 hours. By within 24 hours, I mean like 24 hours of playtime, not in one day. Like I said, it's not healthy to sit 24 hours straight to play a video game. I don't recommend it. I may not be a medical professional, but I don't recommend it. I got a lot farther than I thought I would. I wasn't very confident that I would reach the second sea in this playthrough or this challenge in general, but I managed to make it to the second sea, and at least I got through some of the quests. Another thing is that, oh, I didn't show the clips, you know what? So you guys can see the spring fruit, I never used it. So what happened was, I don't know what happened to the clip, so ironically I found the spring fruit in the overworld twice. I swear to god, I need to find the footage. I found it twice and that was the funniest thing ever, but because I could only pocket one fruit, I decided to eat one spring fruit and then store one. And then I also got the other fruits just from the gacha. I didn't get anything good. I did have fun doing this challenge. I'm also mentally exhausted. I think I played too much Blox Fruits in this time period, so I need to take another break from the game. Kudos to those who don't get tired of it and can play it constantly. For me, it's not like my favorite game. I can have fun with it, but I get tired really easily, and I feel like that's a little bit sad because it makes me want to play the game less. But I know how much you guys enjoy my Blox Fruits videos, so I thought, let's do something fun. Let's do an experiment. Let's see how fast someone can level up based on these parameters. If you decide to take that challenge, let me know your results in the comments, and yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys then. See ya!